1,792. That's how many systems in the entire Euclid galaxy can potentially be reached using only 2 glyphs. And even this number includes systems that fall inside the galactic core exclusion zone, so the real number is smaller. Out of about 2.14 trillion stars, GoodGuysFree here, and we need to find one specific planet inside those 1,792 systems. Let's get started. I've been working on a portals and glyphs tutorial. The script is written. The method works, but there's one section I can't finish because it references a planet we haven't built yet. Here's what I mean. One of the most efficient ways to collect all 16 glyphs is to visit a planet where 16 bases have been placed, each one right next to a traveler's grave. You arrive, you teleport from base to base, you collect 16 glyphs in one run. Done. But a planet like that doesn't just exist on its own. It has to be built. Because of how NMS works, only one base per player is visible to others on any given planet. So this requires 16 different players to each claim a different traveler's grave on the same planet in a coordinated effort. There may already be planets out there with something like this, but NMS planet generation has changed, and more importantly, I want to do this for the community because it means players coordinating with each other. It means the community is making this for the community. I want this to be built by this community, documented, verified, and properly maintained. And here's what makes the address matter. We want it reachable with just 2 glyphs, sunset and bird, 0 and 1. Binary. Why? Because a player who wants to reach it on their own only needs to find 2 travelers in space stations, a far lighter grind than hunting for 16. And for anyone who doesn't even have those 2 glyphs yet, our Discord community will taxi them directly there. 0 glyphs required. The Euclid galaxy contains roughly 2.14 trillion stars. Our Milky Way has maybe 400 billion. NMS is more than 5 times bigger, and we're searching it. Filter for systems reachable with only glyphs 0 and 1, 7 systems per region, 256 regions, and you get 1,792 candidates. Subtract the systems that fall inside the galactic core exclusion zone, a sphere about 3,000 light years in radius that the game won't let you enter, and the real number is even smaller. And still, it's over 1,000. Not a one-person job to find one planet in 1,000+ potential systems. Now, each system can have up to 6 planets or moons, but the planet selector glyph in the portal address only accepts values 1 through 6. 0 isn't valid. So we're looking at the first planet in each system only, 1 candidate per system. That planet has to be a true paradise planet, in normal mode, preferably without aggressive fauna or aggressive sentinels. We don't want anything attacking our visitors, and we prefer low conflict systems. 1 planet meeting all of that somewhere in those 1,792 systems. How do you find it? On paper, this looks insurmountable, but there's nothing the NMS community can't do. The question was, how do you coordinate a search across nearly 1,800 systems? And then it hit me. What if this search had a coordinator who actually lives in the NMS universe? Someone who understands glyphs, who knows what we're looking for, and who can talk to every traveler who volunteers. So I built one. Meet Marco. If he looks familiar, yes. He sounds like Polo for a reason. He and Polo suspect they may be twins. Marco has no memory of how they were separated. The not knowing is simply part of who he is. But what Marco does know is the mission. He lives on the Discord. He'll assign you a system, walk you through what to check, verify your screenshots, and log what you find. He speaks your language. He's quiet unless there's a reason to speak, just like a certain someone we all know. Here's how it works. You join the Discord and talk to Marco. Ask for an assignment. He'll assign you a system from the shared pool and give you the glyphs to get there in several useful forms. Then he walks you through the checklist. Open your discoveries page. First, make sure you're not in creative mode. Second, check that discovery services are connected. If they're not, you might reach a system that's already been discovered and see first contact and think it's newly discovered. Third, check the conflict level, note the biome type, and look for aggressive sentinels. On the ground, keep your eyes open. Aggressive sentinels or aggressive fauna, either one is a problem for us. We still want you to report back. The database will be useful regardless of what you find. Important, please do not rename or upload the system. Leave it exactly as you found it. Take a few screenshots that include the portal glyphs. Try to frame the glyphs against a darker background for better contrast. Post one in the channel and Marco will detect your address automatically. And if life gets in the way, say, cancel my assignment at any time, and the system goes back in the pool. Assignments time out after 5 days. And here's the part I want to be clear about. You fill in those details even if the planet is not what we're looking for. Because we're not just hunting one specific planet. We're exploring and documenting systems. If you find something remarkable, something beautiful, something strange, there's a notes section in the details form. If you found a non-paradise, you can immediately share the find on the Glyph Share channel on the Discord. The most interesting finds will be featured in a future video. Planets that appear to meet our criteria get escalated to the moderators. They compile a shortlist, and then I go out and visit each candidate in person, in normal mode, to verify. Why the personal visit? Because I need to be sure. If this is the planet, I need to place a base near the portal. I want to make sure the submitter didn't make the honest mistake of thinking they were in normal mode when they were actually in creative. Because in creative, you won't notice aggressive fauna, and regular lush planets appear as paradise. This happened to me in the past, so it's totally understandable. The planet we choose will be properly showcased, and the player who found it will be credited by name and invited to place the base at the first glyph location. When we find and build on this planet, it becomes a permanent resource for new players. 16 bases, 16 travelers' graves, 1 teleporter run to collect all 16 glyphs. The address goes into the tutorial. Any new player who finds that video a year from now, 5 years from now, gets an address they can actually use. 2 glyphs to get there on their own, and if they don't have even those 2, we'll get them there. And that's what we're building. The list of systems to try is ready and waiting for explorers. If you're on the Discord or want to be, the link is in the description. Talk to Marco, he's waiting for you. I'll follow up in a few days with what we've found, how close we are, and whether the search threw any surprises at us. And like always, if I missed something or got something wrong, drop it in the comments. GoodGuysFree here, and I'll see you again soon.